Hello and welcome to the card rundown before Apex League Wrestling number 28 for December 8th. What are we looking at for the upcoming main events? Well, we've got to determine a number one contender for the Apex League Deathmatch Championship. How are we going to do that? Well, we're going to hold ourselves a Deathmatch Clusterfuck tournament. How does this work? We're going to throw a deathmatch clusterfuck. There's going to be 8 competitors. They're going to get eliminated. Their order of elimination determines their seeding. So you can see the first eliminated is the 8th seed. The winner is the number 1 seed. And you can kind of figure out in between there, I hope. And those seeds slot you into the bracket. Obviously, the better you do, the easier the tournament is for you. So if you win the whole thing, you are already set to go past the first and second round, and you would face either the 8th, 7th, or 4th seed. So that's a pretty good draw for the winner. Now, if you are, let's say, the 3rd or 4th seed, you skip the first round, but then you're going to have to, win 3 matches to win the whole thing. If you are in the first 4 eliminated, you have to wrestle in round 1, and you would have to win 4 matches, which is a tall task. But look, this is Fire Pro. These are death matches. Anything can happen. So this should be a lot of fun. I always love a bracket. That's why I do a lot of them. All right. What else do we have? Well, we have the pay-per-view, Situation Critical, December 17th. The Apex League World title is on the line in the main event. Randy Savage will defend his title against Omos. Randy Savage beat Bret Hart, who seemed unstoppable, and now he has to defend his title against Omos, who also seems unstoppable. So we will find out. Maybe Randy Savage is just the kind of competitor that can take anybody down, or maybe he used it all up beating Bret Hart. We'll find out. Then the Apex League Battle Royale title match will happen. We know 3 of the competitors, the Thanksgiving Trios winners, Fit Finlay, Chris Harris, and B-Boy, will be in that match. We don't know the 4th at the current moment. Bryan Danielson has reached 3 defenses, which means he has a choice to make, and we'll get into that later. The Apex League Deathmatch title will be defended. We saw that the contender will be determined at Apex League Wrestling 29, and the champion heading into the pay-per-view will be determined at Apex League Wrestling 28 this very week's show. We will have the Merry Motherfucking Christmas match, which is basically feast or fired. So we got, hey, maybe you win, maybe you get a bad case, maybe you don't do as well, and maybe you get a good case. It's going to shake things up. It's going to alter careers. It's going to change up how the title pictures look. It should be a lot of fun. We also will find out who the number 1 contender for the Apex League World title is. Shibata will take on somebody. And again, that's related to the Bryan Danielson situation, which I will again talk about in more detail in a minute here. And throughout the card, we will have at least 5 ranked competitors in action. All right, let's get into Apex League Wrestling number 28, the reason we are all here. And of course, to start that, we get into the rankings. Omos earns himself the number 1 contendership spot, the number 1 ranking, by beating Asuka. Where is Asuka? She done dropped off. It is a tight pack right here at the top, so 1 loss can really drop you far. You can see Shibata, Bret Hart, Bad Luck Fale, Eddie Guerrero, they all slotted up 2 spots. Ray Phoenix, thanks to beating Scotty Duhati, now ranked number 6. Tiger Mask, Mark Henry move up 1 spot, thanks to Asuka dropping. And Great Khali now ranked 2-1. However, that's 2 straight wins. And Maki Ito will remain ranked 10 until she wrestles a match. All right, what's the card for this week looking like? What kind of matches are we going to see? Well, let's hit a button and let's find out. Well, we have a death match. With 1 token for the winner, Scott Steiner takes on MVP. As you can see, neither of those men have had much luck. They've competed mostly in the singles wrestling division, and now they're going to move over to the deathmatch division where hopefully they can have a little more luck. Another deathmatch for one token. The Blade takes on Zack Ryder. Similar story. Two competitors who have not had the best success in the wrestling division trying to move over to the deathmatch division, see if it does them any better. Then we have a four-way that's just for fun. Uh, Swerve Strickland, China, Asuka, Colt Cabana. Currently, there are no stakes. But if you win this, that's a win over three other strong competitors. That might boost you, get you in a match. That's probably good. And we have Azumi taking on Manami Toyota. Two formerly ranked. Azumi was in a number one contenders match, I believe, or a match to get into one at least. Manami Toyota was in the initial tournament for the Apex League World Title. So these are both storied competitors who, will get a pretty big boost from this win. Bryan Danielson will announce his decision with the Apex League Battle Royale title. What does that mean? Well, I have a little rule where if you reach 3 successful defenses with the Apex League Battle Royale title, which Bryan Danielson has done, you have a choice to make. You can keep the title. That's simple. You just keep the title, you defend it until you lose it. You can cash the title in for one of two options. You can cash it in for a death match, title match. You just straight up get the title match, or you can get into the number one contenders, the next number one contenders match. So in this case, if Danielson chooses the number one contenders match, he would be facing Shibata at the pay per view. If he chooses the deathmatch title, he'll go at the pay per view, and whoever wins the clusterfuck will just face down the line. So this is a pretty big match, but we pretty much guarantees that Danielson will be on the pay per view card. It's just whether or not he's defending his title, fighting for a new one, or trying to become the number one contender. We also have two ranked competitors in action. Tiger Mask, number 7 at 2-0, takes on Maki Ito, who got that number 10 slot at the Black Friday show by beating Scott Steiner in a career accelerator match. They put 5 career matches on the line, and Maki Ito walked out with ranked number 10. But our main event, a match I am very excited for, for the Apex League Deathmatch Championship, Sid Vicious defends his title against CM Punk. CM Punk currently has 4 deathmatch tokens. You need 3, so he's cashing them all in, and he's taking on Sid Vicious. It's going to be a landmine deathmatch, and we're going to find out who truly is the deathmatch champion.